Hello and welcome to this lesson. We learn about creating line charts in Tableau. In our previous lesson, we covered creating bar chart. Let's start by creating a new sheet on which we place our line chart. A good note is that line charts are mostly used for continuous data, that is, data that is continuous in nature, like time series data. We create a line chart using the order date, which is a date variable. We try to see the number of cells for each year. In this case, we have a simple line chart. Notice how all 4 years are well represented from 2014, 2015 to 2017. And the sum of cells for each year are listed as shown. We can illustrate more data in this by going to the date variable, clicking on this. Notice we have 2 sections of the date variable. We have this first section. This represents the date in the continuous nature, and then next represent date in discrete form. Let's start by learning how to use the continuous section. Instead of having the years, let's have the quarters. We have 4 quarters, the first to the 4th quarter, for all the data summed for all of the 4 years. So the first quarter had lower sales compared to the second, and the 4th quarter had the highest sales. Then we can further see the months. You'll notice that we have January to December. All the 12 months are well represented. Let's also go further and represent the number of days. That is the days. Let's go back to quarters. Let's now see how the discrete form is represented. You can see the numbers changed. This is, we have 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017, all the years represented. And let's now convert this into quarters. In 4 years, we are supposed to have 4 quarters for each year, that is 16 quarters, and all the 16 quarters are well represented. In this case, we have a quarter for 2014 first quarter. This is 2015 4th quarter. This is 2016 4th quarter, and this is 2017 4th quarter. Now let's see how the months will be represented. We have all the 48 months from 2014 January to 2017 December. In discrete form, the data is analyzed per each data point, unlike in the continuous form where the data is represented in aggregation based on the year, month, quarter, all the days. Let's work with this. Sales by, let's see the sales by quarters. Let's have the months, and November has the highest sales. We'll rename these sales the months. Then let's create a new chart. Let's have the same information. And sales here. And instead of having, we'll have the months, and we'll have this as sales by months, discrete. Let's rename this and have it as continuous. In line chart, we can also opt to have the data labels were represented. There we go. And it doesn't look very good. We can always remove this. And back to that, we can also convert this to an area chart. We can also have circles in place of the lines. But let's have a line chart. We can create a trend line, something called trend line. Show the trend line. It shows the trend. In this case, let's change the color of the trend line. Let's make it, let's say that. And let's make it dotted. We'll also notice that we have the grid lines. We can remove the grid lines at this point and have none. There we are. We have a chart. We can change the color of the line by going to the color and selecting whichever color we are interested in. Let's have a green line. We can increase opacity and have markers. We want to have some markers in this case. There we go. We have years 2014 to 2017. The chart represents the data in discrete form. Let's go back to the continuous form and make this an area chart. An area chart is a form of bar chart. And there you go. It's all represented. We have converted a line chart into an area chart like this. In some cases, we may also want to represent two variables under the same line chart. Let's still use the date variable. There we go. Then we want to work with sales, and we also want to work with profit. You'll notice now we have two different lines, one for profit and the second one for sales. Let's click on here. You'll notice we have a dual axis choice. Let's select that. We have profit on this side and sales on the other side, and they are represented by different colors. Let's synchronize the axis. On synchronizing the axis, we have both axes are the same. And since we are using the continuous form of our data, we can also convert this into quarters. We can move further and change that into months and change that into days. There we have a nice chart. That's it for line chart. We'll look later on other customization of the line charts to create area charts like this. We can also convert this to a line chart, but area chart that is, and there you go. We have a nice and well represented data. Those are just basic customization. We can make more changes and make it more appealing.